So this week we're going to read Parsha Zachor. Parsha Zachor is a mitzvah deraisa to remember that which Amalek did to us in the Midbar. The mitzvah of Mechias Amalek, of destroying Amalek, it has really three separate mitzvahs. There's the mitzvah of Lo Tishkach, to not forget, which is in the thoughts of a person, is in the machshav of a person. And then there's the mitzvah of Zachor Es Asher Asa Amalek, which Chazal tell us is Bepeh, Ein Zachor Ela Bepeh, that we have to remember with our mouths to specifically say, to remember that which Amalek did to Klal Yisrael in the Midbar. And then there's the mitzvah to actually go ahead and destroy them. So the Gemara Megillah says that the reason why we read Parsha Zachor before Purim is because we want to, before we go ahead and destroy Amalek, which we do on Purim, we need to remember what they did to us before we destroy them. So we therefore read Parsha Zachor, which is the Parsha of Amalek, before Purim every single year. So it's a little bit interesting because on the one hand we have a mitzvah to destroy Amalek and erase their memory from the world, yet we have a mitzvah to remember them. So they seem to be a little bit contradictory. But this can all be understood when we understand deeper what Amalek really is. What Amalek is as the Zohar Kadosh says in Parshas Shlach, that Amalek represents the Yetzer Hara. And what that means is like this, is that the Psukim say that Amalek was Asher Karcha Baderech, that they came to, Karcha is a lashon of kar, of cooling down. They came to cool down Klal Yisrael. As Chazal say, they came to cool down the Ambat Yirei Sachas, the boiling pot of water of Klal Yisrael. I mean, Klal Yisrael was on fire at the time. We were in Mitzrayim, we were in the desert, we had just left Mitzrayim, we were ready to serve Hashem, and Amalek came in our way to come and try to cool us down, to say, you guys got to relax. Now, how's Amalek go ahead and do this? It's very simple. By the Yavanim, like we had by Hanukkah, the Yavanim went and they told us we couldn't do certain mitzvahs. And when you tell a Yid he can't do something, when you tell a Yid that you can't do this, or even a person, not just a Yid, when you tell anyone they can't do something, it only really makes them want to do it even more. So that's what happened. Yavan told us we can't do certain mitzvahs. We made a revolt, and we fought back, and Baruch Hashem, we won, and we were able to continue living. Amalek doesn't do that because they know that it doesn't work. All it does is get us upset and make us want to fight. So they're going to let us. They're going to let us have bris milah, and they're going to let us put on tzitzis and tefillin and have Shabbos and Neir Shabbos and Challah and any mitzvah you can think of. They're going to let us have it. But what they're going to do is they're going to make us lose the oomph of the mitzvah. Meaning, they're going to give us those doubts, those thoughts of I don't have self-worth, of depression, of what does this all really mean, of doing things by rote, of just going through the motions, not really thinking about what I'm doing, not really caring about what I'm doing. That's what Amalek does. Amalek brings that into our lives. That's what the Yetzer Hara does. The Yetzer Hara comes and thinks that, and tells us that when we're davening Shemoneh Esrei and we get lost in who knows where, in Honolulu or whatever, when we're in the middle of Shemoneh Esrei, so Amalek makes us think that that's us. That's our thoughts getting in the way, and that we're so terrible, we can't focus on our davening. It's so difficult for us to learn. It's so difficult for us to mekayim the mitzvahs properly the way that we want to do. And Amalek makes us think that that's us. And when we just simply realize that the Yetzer Hara and those things are not from us, when they are from an outside source, that the Yetzer Hara is not me, that I am a Yid, I am someone who all I want deep inside is to get close to Hashem and do what Hashem wants, then Amalek has no ability to have a control over us. And then the Yetzer Hara has no ability to have control over us. And that's the whole point. When we read Amalek to remember who Amalek really is. Amalek is that little annoying voice in our heads that keep us down, that make us think that whatever we're doing, we're not doing it right, and that we need to try to do better, but we can't because we have this and we have that, and we have all the problems in the world, and everything's an issue, and we're all depressed, and everyone's running around all crazy. Amalek makes us try to think that that's us, and when we simply remember on Parsha Zachor that no, that's not us, that is Amalek, that is the Yetzer Hara, that is the Mulchama, that is the war that we have now in the time of Adar, in the time of Purim, we're easily able to go ahead on Purim and destroy. And it could be, the Magen Avraham says in Siman Tafresh Peiches that what is the asiyah of destruction of Amalek? Like I said before, that the remembrance has to come before the action. But what is the action that we're doing on Purim? It can't be the reading of the Megillah, because that's just another speech. Just like speech. It's another speech. It's another reading like we're going to do this Shabbos and Hashem. So that can't be it. So the Magen Avram explains there that it must be that it's the Suda. And you could say that through the Suda, through the Shtiyas Yayin, that sometimes a person needs a little bit extra help to really remember through the Shtiyas Yayin, to really remember that it's not us. And sometimes you need to leave your own das, to come out of yourself, to leave all the bulbulim of your own machshava in your own head to get to that place. And we should be zeicha that through this Shabbos we should really remember who Amalek is and be able to come into Purim understanding who they are, and to therefore then be able to go ahead and destroy them. Thank you and have a beautiful Shabbos.
I want to take a moment to invite you to our special Night Seder program. Our Aaron and Leah Night Seder program has been endowed to our shul, bringing in outstanding young Talmidei Chachamim to our shul every Monday to Thursday from 8:30 to 9:45 every night of the week, in order to give you the opportunity not just to listen to Shirim, but to do your own learning. That means to say you choose, even if it be half an hour a week, you say, I would really like to learn X. I would really like to learn more about Y. And I want to come in. You can find a chevrusa. You'll be assigned your own chevrusa to work through it at your pace, at your level. That's what Night Seder is about. We're shifting from receiving Shirim of Torah to learning Torah ourselves. Please join us for our Aaron and Leah Night Seder program. Looking forward to seeing you there shortly.